Back to Trojans Live, fresh off the practice field. We've got the head coach, Clay Helton, here, brought to you by Cooper Tires. Cooper Tires knows that the 4 tires in your vehicle are what connect you to the road and help keep you safe. Count on Cooper and visit coopertires.com today. Well, Coach, you went to Boulder with a mission, and mission accomplished. What does it say about the evolution of this program that you guys were able to handle your business in the South? You didn't need help this year. You did it with a game to spare.
Yeah, each and every year in your program you want to improve, and we were not in this position last year. The fact of the matter is we were hoping that other teams were going to lose and maybe sneak in. And this year we controlled our destiny the whole way through. And to be able to go 3 back-to-back games at Arizona State, big game at home versus Arizona, and then finish it off on the road at Colorado speaks volumes to our kids and our staff. Really proud of them as a head coach in the job that they did.
Coach, when you look at your team, I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody was happy to win. It was exciting to win. But it's almost like when in being around the players and the coaches, it's almost like an expectation as opposed to, storming the field or, throwing Gatorade and you didn't get a Gatorade bath or any of those type of things.
Takes the fun out of it a little bit.
I mean, you probably wanted a Gatorade bath, but you didn't get one.
Not Boulder.
But what does that say about this team? Maybe from a maturity standpoint, maybe from an expectation standpoint of where they think they can go and there's unfinished business.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know that there's a lot left out there to play for. And the fact of the matter is when you build consistency in a program, I mean, over the last 20 games, these kids are 18-2. And they've learned how to win, and they know how to win consistently. And they expect Pac-12 championship. And that was the first step, was to be able to win out on November 11th at Colorado and slam the door there. Now we've got a big rivalry game this week that means a lot to our seniors and what they can accomplish, kind of put a statement on their career, whether it's having another undefeated season at the Coliseum, whether it's back-to-back years of going undefeated in November, and taking that next step prior to the Pac-12 championship game. So there's a lot out there to play for, and they know it. And by far our most spirited practice. I think I was worried about them having a lull, and it was like playing for the Super Bowl out there today. They were bouncing everywhere. It was almost too competitive. Well, it was pretty cool.
They know they have a bye next week, Coach. They can just let it all out.
Yeah, they finally get a bye.
Exactly.
They don't need to hold back anymore. Hey, you said after the Colorado game, you thought maybe it was Sam Darnold's best game of the season. What'd you see from your quarterback?
Yeah, I thought the decision making was really good, and we've really seen it over the last 6 games. I mean, 15 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions in the last 6 games, and I think it comes a lot with the maturity of our skilled kids and how they're developing with the Tyler Vaughns and a Michael Pittman, getting Stephen Mitchell back healthy, having a Daniel Mortabebe there. You just see a chemistry that is really built within this skilled group, and that helps a quarterback. And then plus having a healthy offensive line core that's consistently playing together now. So, you look at the last 3 games, we've had 2 600-yard-plus games. Last week was 522. So really I think the offense has really come together down the stretch here and performing well.
You just saw us have Rojo on, and I don't know if you were here, but I asked him his first question. My first question to him was, it seems like he's getting stronger. I mean, within the game and within the season, it seems like he's getting stronger. Yeah. What are you seeing from him and why?
So proud of him because he's really become an every down back. I remember when he first came here and he was just a runner, and that's all he did at Texas. They handed him the ball 25 times, he just ran. And now he's become a pass catcher out of the backfield. He's learned how to do pass protection. He's become an every down back, and he's really carrying this football team. I mean, even if we put the slide that was made by the university of the elite guys that he's in that group with, and it's just mind-blowing the accomplishments that he's done, and we're not done. I mean, to each guy that looked up there goes, we got a couple more that we could maybe climb up to. So it's really, when you talk about Rojo, special kid, special player, and really it's a compliment to our entire offense, as I told our kids. I mean, that's the offensive line blocking. That's the tight ends blocking. That's the wideouts going in MDM and the safeties in collisioning. So it's really a group effort, and I don't know if there's more humble a kid than Rojo, and the way he's approached it. He's just thankful to have the opportunity.
this program really has been blessed with some great receivers in the last few years and the time that you've been here. They're all balling out on Sundays now. Robert Woods right down the street, the Coliseum, had another huge game. But I was struck, T. Martin said this could be the most talented receiving group that he's had since he's been here, which is as long as you've been here. How much have they improved this year, and what has their improvement meant to this offense? Even a guy like Roach, all of a sudden you have that balance now, and they can't key on him as much.
Yeah, I think you're the most dangerous when you can take what the defense gives you. And, we kind of anticipated in the Colorado game, you have two back-to-back 300-yard rushing days that they're going to come and load the box, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
They came down, and credit T, I thought he did a magnificent job of just keeping on running the ball, keep on making them honest. We look up, we got 192 yards rushing, but it really set up the balance to be able to push the ball down the field. We challenged the wideouts going into the game. Hey, it is going to be man-to-man. You're going to have to make your plays. They're going to be tough plays. You're going to have to win your one-on-one battles. And I thought they did for the most part. We had one or two drops in the game, but for the most part, I thought those really – you look up and you got 322 yards worth of passing. Yeah. I thought they did a really nice job.
Yeah, I know it didn't necessarily show up in the stats, but Daniel Imatabebe is now starting to look like Daniel Imatabebe again. What are you seeing from his progression through practice? I know, like I said, in the stat sheet it might not show up, but it just looks like he's more of an offensive threat and more of a weapon in the offense.
Yeah, when you're running that vertical passing game like we're doing and you're able to put Daniel down the middle of the field, somebody's got to cover him. Right. And if they're covering him, somebody else is open. And that threat of him pushing the middle of the field vertically has been evident really in the last 3 games. He's gotten healthier and healthier and healthier. Had a great practice today. He's one that I hope we can get the ball to a couple times this week.
I'm looking at our audience here on Facebook Live. Now, you've cleaned up the turnover, so nobody wants to talk about that anymore. They'd like to talk about short yardage, though, Coach. What makes a good short yardage team? What are the challenges in that situation that you guys battle through week in and week out?
Yeah, that's what happens. You end up and you have a 600-yard game, 600-yard game.
It's like whack-a-mole, Coach.
And
it's
Coach,
like
you
whack-a-mole.
were at 522 last week.
I know.
It's completely unacceptable.
But that's part of coaching. Is you try to fix one area and then another one's going to pop up, and that's 18 to 21-year-olds. We were in the situation I think 3 times. We had a 3rd and 2, a 4th and 1, and a 4th and 1, and we were 2 of 3. The one that we did miss was a combination between the tackle and the tight end on a 4-eye technique up to the interior linebacker, and just had by chance both defenders came through the same gap, which you don't count on happening, but they did, and we just came off late on a combination which got us. So it's something that we work extremely hard on. I've heard that question a lot over the last week.
No doubt.
And usually when you miss a 4th and 1, you're going to hear about it. So as I told T, hey, let's make sure we make a ball. So we
don't have to answer that
make
question
them all,
anymore.
never have a turnover, convert on every 3rd down. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
It's easy game. All right, we got more from Coach. It's time to talk about the Bruins when we come back. But first, Trojan fans get 1 free admission to the Ralph's Ultimate Tailgate Experience at select USC football home games this fall when you purchase $35 of participating items at Ralph's. Look for the signs and tags in store. Every $35 you spend gets you 1 admission. More from Coach when we come back. It's Rivalry Week on Trojans Live.
SC. Here are Jordan Moore and John Jackson.
All right, one more segment with the head coach, Clay Helton. We appreciate him joining us. He's got a packed schedule on Tuesday night, so let's get right to this UCLA game, Coach. That's what everyone wants to talk about. You've been here now a while. You're certainly not a local, but you sort of become one. What makes this game unique and special for you?
I've been a part of football my entire life with my dad, and have had the opportunity to be a part of some rivalry games. I played at Auburn University early in my college career, and the Auburn-Alabama, rivalry. What separates this one, I think, which makes it unique, is all the rivalries around the country. There's usually miles, sometimes states between.
Yeah.
We live together on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you have neighbors flying Bruin flags right there, and some USC flags, and it's just 2 great universities, 2 academic universities, 2 storied athletic traditional universities that come together and compete each and every year. It's one of those neat events that happen for this community. It's special for this community. One group is feeling as good as you could be for 365 days, and the other ones that got their guts are hurting.
It's all about that bell.
Yeah, no question. That's my favorite thing in life besides Miss Angela, who's here also. Right. But they're basically 1 and 2 in my life.
Right. You know, with this rivalry, you know, there's so much made of it and how to approach it. And we've talked about that even during the Notre Dame week. What do you do with these players this week? Is it sort of just get ready as usual, or is there extra emphasis on UCLA?
No, I think they have to understand that preparation is key. That this is an emotional game, and the passion is something that you do expect from 18 to 21-year-olds, and you don't want to hold them back from that. But you also got to understand there has to be intelligent emotion, that don't let emotion dictate a poor decision or making a poor play. So as good a practice as we've had all year today, I was waiting to see kind of how they were after winning the Pac-12 South. Would there be a little bit of a lull? We challenged them. They came out and had unbelievable practice today, so hopefully that carries over through the week and up until Saturday.
Yeah, do you think maybe it helps? Because if you were just playing another game, it'd be, hey, we clinched the South, we're waiting on the championship game. It would be a trap game. I don't think there's anyone out there that's going, oh, they're going to just take the UCLA game lately.
No, this is a special for our kids. It's special for our seniors. It's the last time to play in the Coliseum, and there's so much on the line I think for both teams. This will be a very ultra competitive ball game. UCLA fighting for bowl berth and fighting to get the victory bell back, and it will. And they're a good football team that's lost some close football games down the stretch here. So it's one that we're going to have to play our best game to win.
There's obviously a lot of parallels between SC and UCLA, and this game will get broken down over the next couple of days, 8 million ways. But the one thing that you can't get away from is, when you talk about UCLA, is the quarterback. Josh Rosen is phenomenal as a quarterback. What are you seeing from him, and how do you go about attempting to slow him down?
I don't know if you can slow him down. He's a very, very special talent, and have had the opportunity to watch him grow up. Have had the opportunity to watch him both Pop Warner, high school, and now as a college quarterback. And being a quarterback coach by trade, you kind of enjoy the moment of watching him on tape and seeing really, truly a special talent, a guy that's going to play on Sunday. He's really progressed as a quarterback too, his arm strength, his anticipation, and really what I was impressed with last week, he was unbelievably accurate in that Arizona State game. I mean, he was on fire. He's one of those kids that when he gets hot, he's very hot. And you got to try to do your best job, like we've seen with the passing quarterbacks. You got to try to affect their timing somehow, some way. Try to get them off their spot, just affect it just a little bit. So I think it's going to be really important for our defensive line, our defensive front, to be able to get to him. Because if you let him stand back there and make it a 7-on-7 day, right, you are going to get crushed. So it's going to be imperative for us to have great pass rush this week.
Yeah, and is this maybe the best passing team you have faced? Your schedule's sort of been loaded with these great running teams. You had to face Bryce Love and Khalil Tate and the Notre Dame duo, but this is maybe Washington State would be the other one, for the first real team that they'll happily throw it 50 times.
Yeah, you're looking at 333 yards a game that they're throwing for, and have a ton of great receivers. Theo Howard, Lasley, who came back last game. I was so sad to see Andrews get hurt. I thought he was a phenomenal player and wish him nothing but the best in his future. He's going to play on Sundays too. This is a dynamic passing game attack, and it will be a challenge. Thank God I got Clancy and the mad scientist back there to dial up different coverages and different pressures and mix it up and hopefully slow them down a little bit.
Well, there's one thing about the Bruins that is their Achilles heel has been their defense all year long. I know that you know that, but is it a situation where you sort of have to forget about that and just focus on what you guys do well and play a USC Trojan offense type of game?
Yeah, it's always been about us and trying to meet our standards, especially offensively. We have to. We always go game plan a defense like we're playing the Green Bay Packers, and try to defeat the scheme. Try to see what their personnel is, where their strengths are, where we may be able to attack, and diagnose it. So we're treating it just like any other game, being able to see, hey, here's their scheme, here's your strengths, here's maybe an area where we can attack and put our best game plan together for our kids.
All right, well, we appreciate the head coach, as always, for joining us. Hunting win number 10 on Saturday, USC-UCLA, 5 p.m. at the Coliseum on ESPN and right here on ESPN LA 710. JJ's Scouting Report is next on Trojans Live.